Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Of course, welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and also put the notification bell on so you're notified of every single time that I upload. So for today's video, I have got another eyeshadow palette review for you, and today we will be reviewing the other Makeup Obsession palette, and that is the Crystal Waves. If you'd seen my video on Tuesday, you'll know that I reviewed the new LA Dreams palette. This palette also launched at the same time, so I want to get this review up ASAP. I do have loads of other eyeshadow palettes that I need to do reviews for, but because these are new, I've prioritised them. So let's get started. This is called Crystal Waves. It's just called the shadow palette. It has 16 shadows in it. This retails for £10, so it is very, very affordable. And I feel like I should just get this out of the packaging and show you the inside. This is also it is vegan and cruelty free, so if you only support brands that are, then this is a good brand to buy makeup from. And again, like I said in my LA Dreams video, they always have the same packaging on the actual palette, which I absolutely love. I love this packaging. It's got like pink sand on it and like a bright baby blue ocean on it, so yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. And then this is what the palette looks like. So it is a very much pastel eyeshadow palette. It has a lot of pastel shades in it. It has also got a lot of shimmers in it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's actually 8 shimmers in here and 8 mattes. So you do have a large variety. You do have a lot of pastels in here as well. We are just going to play with this today and see what my thoughts and opinions are. Pastel palettes are a little bit difficult. I did review the Beauty Bay Pastels palette last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week, and that went really well for me, so I hope that this palette is going to perform well as well. Makeup Obsession palettes also come with a mirror, so that is a bonus with a £10 palette. Like, it's so affordable. We love affordable makeup here on this channel. So I think we should stop rambling and dive on into the swatches, because I'm very intrigued to know how this is going to swatch. So these are the first 2 rows swatched. As you can see, we have a lot of shimmers here already. There does seem to be like a couple of those topper shades I was talking about in my LA Dreams video. This seems to be like a normal shimmer, whereas like these few here seem to be like more of a topper formula. I do feel like as well, like these 2 shimmers look very, very similar. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but they both like kind of reflect pink. But I feel like this may be like a duochrome, because it kind of like in some lights looks gold but then looks pink. So I think that might be the slight difference, but the 3 mattes that I've swatched so far are very pigmented. Okay, so these are the 2 bottom rows. Obviously the one that stands out the most is this silver. Like, oh my goodness, look how pigmented that is. I am noticing a couple of these are duochrome, so I think this one's kind of a duochrome as well. Kind of reflects like a bluey purple, but also like a silver. I don't know how to explain it. But the yellow is super pigmented. This one took a couple of layers to build up. I'm noticing a couple of them are really dry when swatching them as well, but that might be because of the pastel formula. Again, right, this shade, as I say in my LA Dreams video, this really reminds me of the blue in the Rady palette, and I'm going to go quickly swatch that so I can tell the difference. It's this shade here in the Daydream palette, and hello by the way, I'm like stood up. If I quickly swatch this for you. Okay, so they look very similar. All I'd say is this one's probably a bit more pigmented than this, so this is a better version of this shade, if that makes sense, but it is essentially like the same shade. Okay, I've zoomed you in now. We're going to get started with the eye look. I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're just going to roll with it. Firstly though, I am going to prime with my P. Louise base. Let's start off with the Amethyst shade. It's the lilac purple in the palette. There are a few different shades of pinky purples, and I'm just going to take that on my brush and we're going to whack that at the front of the lid. Okay, so that is the shade Amethyst. My experience with pastel shades is that you just have to keep building them. Like, no matter what brand it's from, pastel shades are very light, so you just have to keep building them up. And to be honest, it has got really decent pigmentation now that I've built it up. Obviously at first it did apply a bit sheer, but you just got to be patient with pastels, I'm afraid, otherwise they're not going to show any pigment. So yeah, considering that is a very, very pastel, like lilac-y purple shade, I feel like that has applied quite well. Okay, and now we're going to take the shade Baby Pink, which is baby pink anyway, and then we're gonna just, that has got a lot of kick up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got quite a lot of kick up, and that's another thing I've experienced with pastel shades so far, is there is a lot of kick up with any of them. So I just want to put this in the middle, and this is going to connect to the darker purple, if that makes sense. So just picking up a lot of the shade, and I'm just building it into that first shade, and also just packing it on a little bit across my lid, if that makes sense, because then the rest of my lid will be the darker purple. Again, I've sat here taken my time with it, built it up, and it is very bright and pastel. I do really like that shade. We're now going to take the shade Mystical, which is the darkest kind of shade in the palette, bar in the blue, and I'm just going to take this on like a bigger fluffy brush. There isn't a lot of fallout with this one actually, which is surprising, and I'm going to start tapping this like on my outer corner and connecting it with the Baby Pink shade. And I can go back and kind of deepen up the other shades again. I just need to put all the colours down before I can do that. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Baby Pink shade that we used and just build up that and blend it into the dark purple. So we get kind of like a gradient effect. And then again, going back in with the first shade, Amethyst, and deepening that up. I mean, not deepening, but just making it a little bit more pigmented. To be honest, like, I'm not having any problems with these. The only thing that I would suggest is to just sit and build up the shades and don't just give up. Like, they are pastel shades. Like, they are going to take a little bit of work, but once you sit here and build them up, they're going to look super pretty. So I'm fairly impressed so far. Okay, so I am going to now cut the crease. I think I'm going to add a wing as well, because I haven't actually done that in a while. So I am just going to use like the normal Peel Weeze base. To be honest, I can't be bothered to get up and go get the cut crease canvas. So I'm just going to use the normal Peel Weeze base to cut my crease. And then we can play with one of these beautiful shimmers. So be right back. Right, so I've now done like a half cut crease. I now need to decide like what colour shimmer I'm going to use. They're so similar, aren't they? I just think the top one is a little bit more pink. We have Freedom. Oh, that could look stunning. Yeah, we're gonna go with Freedom. Yeah, Freedom. Oh, it's a gorgeous colour. It's this top one here. Oh, yeah, I need a bit of that on my eyes. Now, I don't know what the best way is going to be to apply this. Let's try this brush. So, I'm going to take Freedom on this like flat brush. It's a Morphe M124. And let's see if that applies it okay. Okay, I think that applies like pretty well without wetting it. However, I do want to try wetting it just because I want to see if we can get it any more like metallic-y, if you know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, that did apply a little bit better with the spray, but to be honest, it was pretty pigmented without it, so I'm very impressed with that. I do want to, like, I need to find a shimmer that can connect this is the purple. So I think I'm going to take the shade Mother of Pearl. And let's see if this is any good. So that worked. I am just going to quickly go back in with Mystical, which is the purple on the outer corner. And I'm also going to use that to blend it in with the shimmers. I was going to add a wing, but I feel like the wing would be too heavy. I feel like it needs to be nice and like soft and pastel. So I'm not going to add the wing. We are going to move on to the lower lash line though. And also just to know, I have got fallout from that shimmer shade. So I had no fallout from the mattes, but I did from the shimmer. So just to let you know. Let's take the shade Starfish. And I'm just going to put this like all across my lower lash line. There's a lot of fallout with that. For a pastel, that is very pigmented. I'm very impressed with that. Okay, and then for my inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to take the shade Opal, which I thought was like a goldy champagne shade, but it actually reflects pink. So it will go with this lip very well. Okay, oh, why do I never notice these bits of hairs that hang out? Very annoying. Okay, so this is the completed look. I'm going to hop off camera, put some lashes and mascara on and some lips. And then I'll be back so we can discuss my final thoughts. So guys, this is my completed look using the Makeup Obsession Crystal Waves palette. On my lashes, I thought I'd give the Primark 3D Luxe lashes a go again. This packaging is like ruined. I do really like these. They are like really thick and they're a bit shorter than my normal type of lashes, but they are still like really pretty. My mascara, are you shocked guys? Are you shocked? It's the Collection Lash Surge. And my lips is a Soph and Revolution lipstick. This is in the shade Cake. It's my favourite one. So what do you think of my final look? I know I said in my Beauty Babe Pastels video that I don't do a lot of pastel looks, and I really don't. I've just done this one again just for the exception of this video, obviously, because this palette is on a pastel palette. I'm really happy that brands have started to hop on the pastel trend. I must have tweeted ages and ages ago, it was either last year or the year before, saying why isn't pastel makeup a trend? Like, we are lacking so much pastel stuff in the makeup industry, and I'm speaking on like behalf of well-known brands. There may be a lot of smaller indie brands that do a little bit of pastel here and there, but I'm talking like mainstream, like popular brands that don't do pastel makeup, and it's finally becoming a trend and I'm so happy about it. It goes without saying, pastels are a really hard like shades to play with in general, really, because they're so light. Especially on like a pale skin tone like me, you have to build them up quite a lot for them to show on your eyes. Otherwise, if you don't build them up enough, they're going to start to look really sheer and patchy. But I built up every shade that I've got on my lid, and as you'll see in like the close-ups, looks like I've had no issues with anything. There's no patchiness, there's no sheerness anywhere. Like, every shade that I've built up has built up really nicely, and I'm really happy about that. Considering this is like a drugstore brand and they're coming out with like a pastel palette and they work, I'm super happy and impressed with this. If you're looking for an affordable pastel palette, I know Beauty Bay have one, but I feel like this palette gives you a little bit more option in terms of not just pastels, but you also get some like beautiful shimmers in there as well. I feel like the Beauty Bay Pastels offers you like every pastel shade you will probably need to blend out other shadows, whereas I feel like this does offer that. Not as many like matte pastel shadows, like it's not got like an actual true orange in here, it's got more of a pinky orange. I forgot what I was saying now. So yeah, I feel like even though this probably doesn't cover every pastel shade you could possibly need, I feel like it does offer you other palettes as well. So if you weren't just strictly looking for a dedicated pastel palette, but you are open to like more shimmer options and stuff that you can use with the pastel shades, then I think this is a great option. I obviously feel like I would probably need to use this in the future with another palette, just so that can help me build and blend out other shades. But I am really happy with the look I created today. The shimmer that I use, very good formula. I didn't even need to wet it, and it was really metallic and foily. There was a little bit of fallout though, but that is it. Like, nothing else was wrong with the palette. So yeah, I'm very happy with my look that I've created today. I honestly didn't have any clue what I was going to do, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I would be interested to know in the future how the more like topper shimmers formula, the more topper formula performs, just because it was a little bit sheer, whereas the shade Freedom is more of a normal shimmer, so it was going to be very nice. But as I say, every shade that I used in today's video was really pigmented, really easy to blend, and they worked really well for me. So I'm going to recommend it to you guys just on the basis that I've had a very good experience with it today. Please let me know down below what you think of the palette, and also have you picked it up as well? If so, what did you think of it? If you've enjoyed this video, please smash the thumbs up button. Of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below. There will be another giveaway when I hit 3.5k, so get excited for that. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye!